All right, what's good YouTube, it's Jay here. So it's been a while since I did a Star Wars Empire War Remake video. Well, today I'm here to show off a couple of new updates to some units, including some new effects and abilities, some icon changes, and so on. And we're going to take a look at all that stuff today. So first and foremost, one of the first things I've been noticing with this new version of Remake that I didn't even notice in the actual patch notes, which is totally on me, is that units now have these really cool, unique icons to kind of show like what version of the unit it is. So like this Victory Class Mark 1, for example, has ion pulse missiles, while this one has armor-piercing missiles. You can tell by the little orange icon here and the blue one there, to kind of give it some more distinction and a way to tell certain units apart, basically. And then if you look over here for the Rebels, for example, there are now icons for what their starfighter types are. You've got the Y-Wing and the X-Wing in this carrier, and the B-Wing variants in this particular carrier. The statistics also give a significantly more detailed description of how many fighters you get per carrier, basically. And a couple of new units, such as the Dreadnought Cruiser, for example, have entirely new model designs we're going to take a look at today. All right, and so we're over here with a host of different units. We got the Assertor class Star Dreadnought, some Tiberzon units, and some Rebel units. I know this is a very, very strange looking fleet, but we'll talk about all of this stuff in a moment. Let's first take a look at the brand new Public Dreadnought Cruiser that is now in Remake. This, I think, kind of is similar, well, I guess not similar to the Fractal Sponge design. I'm sorry for turning the camera so fast. Let me just set it nice and smoothly right here. And this thing is detailed. You can see literally every single detail on this Dreadnought Cruiser. It looks stellar. It's got a very blocky-ish and robust design. It looks very, do you want to say industrial, kinda? But it's a very clean redesign of the Dreadnought Cruiser and one of the more unique interpretations of it that I've personally ever seen. The front kind of reminds me of an Interceptor 4 cruiser in a way. Not fully on, but it's a really unique and really cool design. I'm actually a big fan of this one. Actually, I think I like this more than pretty much any Republic Dreadnought variant that I've ever seen, honestly. The engine layout is also significantly different from what we're used to, and I have no idea where this Corellian gunship group came from, but we'll worry about that later. To be honest, they probably came from the giant ship here. So the reason why I've brought these other units out, not necessarily because they've had redesigns, although the CR Interceptor, whatever we call this thing, I actually forgot what it's called. So the reason why I've brought out all of these different unit types isn't necessarily because they've had some redesigns, although the Assertor has, and so has the CD-273, which has now been renamed to the Corellian Spellcaster because of a host of its different unit abilities that we'll go into in a minute. But there are some new effects that are tailored to all these units. For example, all the Mon Calamari cruisers now have a new ability called Activate Heavy Shield Barrier, a powerful shield barrier with 35,000 hit points that stops all outside damage until depleted for 30 seconds. It stops movement and it cannot be interrupted. And there's a cool bubble effect that goes along with it that you just saw right there. And this is what it looks like. Honestly, this is kind of insane. I've never seen a shield effect gently push itself out, but all Mon Calamari cruisers have this ability now. You can see the bubble occurring right there. Look at that. And the effect is gigantic too, man. It literally covers the entire ship from head to toe. And I guess anything relatively within that shield too, like any starfighters or anything. Oh, here it is on the MC-75. And there's the bubble just activating with that really good sound effect. It covers the entire ship. That's such a cool way to go about putting a shield ability on a unit. It stems more than just a little bubble that just appears around it magically. Like seeing it push out slowly is a really cool thing. Now this isn't a once a battle like ability. It does have a bit of a cooldown and just takes some time. That means you can in fact reuse this ability multiple times throughout a battle if the battles go on long enough. And here's the ability on an Independence or a Home 1 type starship. Look at that. And again, just shout out to the beautiful textures of the Mon Calamari units from Remake. They just look absolutely spectacular. And again, just I've never seen anything like this before. This is such a cool design choice. Okay, so next, I know you guys are probably wondering, what's that big starship in the background? That is the Assertor class Star Dreadnought. We will get to that in a moment. It also has the Activate Super Heavy Shield Barrier, an extremely powerful shield barrier with 50,000 hit points that stops all outside damage until depleted for 30 seconds, stops movement, and cannot be interrupted. The Empire, it's green. Just look at that. Look at that monstrosity. Wow. Engines are off though, I just noticed that. It's a little uncanny that the engines are shut off for such a big ship, but it still looks sick. I'm pretty certain most of these units have also had some form of texture upgrades too. Forgive me for being a little ignorant on that. I was going over the patch notes and everything, and there have been a lot of changes over the week, but a lot of these units, it could be my monitor, it looks like they have a lot more depth to them. The colors are a lot more defined in certain areas, and to be honest, they look damn good. Remake has always been really well known for its colorful units, its very detailed texture systems, but damn, do they look good. Even the engine effects on like the X-Wing and stuff, they just look crisp. Look at that. They're bright, colorful, and they just stand out. And I believe I covered this a while ago, but lots of units like the A-Wing and the X-Wing have basically had their over-the-top shine filter removed. Now, granted, this is a bit of a darker map. There isn't really good sunlight on this map to kind of showcase this a little bit more, but a majority of these starfighters have actually had all their textures changed and stuff to be a little less shiny and just to be a little bit more, I want to say matte, I guess is the word I want to use. But I think it's a little bit more fitting and it looks a little bit better overall. They don't look over the top or too shiny. It looks fitting and it looks really, really nice. Same could be said about the monocolor Mark Cruisers like this Home 1 type. They've got that crisp, like Episode 6 blue color to them now. They look really, really, really good. So, next on the list of things I want to show you is the new stealth ability for Typer Zahn and Uri Fenn. And then we'll get into the Asserter in a minute. Yeah, this is what the effect looks like now. You can see the unit still. You can actually see completely through the unit. But this is the effect of the stealth ability. Look at that. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before in my life when it's come to Star Wars Empire War. You actually legitimately cannot see this thing if you aren't paying attention. Like, you can see the hum of the engine glow. But if you were in like a one-on-one battle and you were just fighting stuff at a distance, you would not realize this is here. Both of these ships have this ability. I believe it's specifically tailored to Uri Fenn and Typer Zahn just to make it not broken or overpowered, because you legitimately can't see this unit when it's invisible. And it just looks realistic. This looks like what I would think cloaking technology would look like in pretty much any medium, be it Star Wars or any other sci-fi universe. This is a very, very cool way to approach this. Prevents all weapons from firing, and it reduces shield regeneration to 50% for as long as the stealth field is active, and I'm probably sure is the exact same thing over here. It doesn't mention it though in the notes, but that's okay. Next, we're going to move over to the new type of ship class and the new version of the CD-273, the Spellcaster type. The Carillion 273 is a powerful electronic warfare support unit. First and foremost, while unsuitable for direct combat, the CD-273 is an exceptional supporting unit capable of shutting down enemy targeting computers and blocking all incoming damage with massive energy barriers. Best used to support an existing fleet and disrupt enemy warships. Spellcasters are non-combat units with exceptionally powerful abilities. While not directly contributing to the battle, these vessels instead manipulate the battlefield and support friendly units with either incredible abilities, powerful supporting weapons, exceptional vision range, or all of these together. This unit in particular has the support shield barrier ability and the disable enemy targeting computers, medium tractor beams. I read that all in one sentence, but it has it has enemy targeting computer disabling, and it has a medium tractor beam projector. It fires magnetic pulse missiles and it has medium turbo lasers. So here it is at first glance with a complete overhaul to its texture. It no longer looks factory fresh, completely white right out of the dockyards. It has a little bit more wear and tear to it. It looks like it's seen some kind of combat, and the colors just pop out a little bit more with little hints of blue in certain spots with those little red segments and that grayish or whitish gray color scheme. The abilities, again, are activate heavy shield barrier, which we've already read. It stops all incoming damage. And it produces a huge one meant to cover, or basically provide like support cover for any units within the bubble. And yes, this shield will actually block for other units pretty much. We've seen features like this in other mods, of course, but I think the way that it's presented here is by far the most unique representation of the ability. So I'm happy to see that we still are able to come up with really, really similar ideas in the Empire War modding community, but with a different take on them. Again, in this case, the way the bubble pops out and how it performs, it's so cool. I love seeing stuff like this. Then we have the disrupt enemy computers, which doesn't change too much. It'll just send some Arabesh hacking code into the enemy computer, therefore disabling its targeting system. So, and next we can finally move on to the big old Asserter class Dreadnought. Oh, the engines do come on. They just stay dead for a hot second until you start moving it. This is a brand new re-edition of the Asserter class Star Dreadnought, basically, with a host of weapons and other capabilities, including the ability to deploy laser defense turrets, which you can see pop up above it. They spread out pretty far too. Yeah.
Ready for action.
Produces a field of defensive turrets that are, I believe, anti-fighter turrets, if I'm not mistaken.
My lord.
A multi-purpose dreadnought supported by a large complex of hangars housing a large garrison of highly advanced starfighters. And it's not wrong about that. It launches with the TIE Defenders and Skimitar Assault Bombers, which are two of the most powerful units for the Empire to date. It's hard to believe this thing is only 5,500 meters in length. It's not the exact length of your typical Superstar Destroyer, but it's pretty damn big regardless. This thing is protected by 16 advanced particle shield generators, each contributing to a proactive barrier providing 5% durability to the warship shield and hull strength. I was a little bit wrong on what type of lasers these are. These are just your typical quad heavy laser turrets. At first glance, I thought they might have been something related to anti-fighters. This is also my first look at all of this stuff personally. I have yet to really play with the new version of all these units in Remake, so again, this is my first time dabbling in this. And yes, we're going to be having some skirmish gameplay coming up shortly where we will be playing with these units, including some multiplayer matches between me and Jerome, the creator of Empire War Remake. We'll be doing some streams of it too. At the end of this video, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new Empire War Remake update video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the new particle effects and the shield generator abilities on top of all the new textures for some of these old and new units. Let me know what your thoughts were. Let me know what your thoughts were about this video and this new look at some of these units. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars and other gaming content. And as always, this has been Jay the Gamer. I will see you in the next video. May the Force be with you all. Have a great day. Peace.